Hello, world. Frida Reba Darcy and Patricia O'Connor. This is not the video that we're making. This is the video that we're doing after the video that we intended to make. But that turned out to be a comedy of errors. What you see before you now is not a failure, a success. Uh, 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 uh. This is one of my PDOs, please do-overs, and it is a little seedling, Japanese black pine. We potted this guy up as a plug this past fall, put some motion into it, and then as I've been doing the last couple of days, I went back over, I'd say there was probably 6 of them that I just did as a matter of habit, and there was probably 4 of them that I did as a matter of inspiration. The 4 that I did, we'll probably try to, keep those kind of as is. They're going to continue on their paths, those little mames or Shohins or something. The other 6, it's like, yeah, we got them potted. We put some motion in them, and then we'll just let them do that until we decide to do something else with them later. And it's been a good time for it to be later for the last couple of nights. So tonight I decided to throw some motion in this one. We were trying to overcome something that I felt like I had done wrong. I did not like the direction this trunk made when it came out of the ground. So I wanted to address that. Another problem was that I had originally put motion in that branch just the way that I had been, just the same way that I had been preaching the whole time. But the problem was when I put the needle nose to those wires and bent them to put some hard bend in that trunk, instead of doing that underneath the ground, the wire just kind of did a sling blade thing, spun around and did some kind of funky stuff. So it ended up separating the wire from the trunk. The trunk is over here straight as a board, and the wire was in this really cool bend that I was hoping that the trunk would have went in. This being the wire, this being the trunk that's over here laughing at it straight up. It just kind of stepped away. So we were going to address that, and then we were going to try to put a shape in this tree that I liked better. Also, the top of the tree, about that much of the top of the tree was out of wire. I had already put the motion in the bottom part of it. I said, we'll just let the top of it run like that. We don't know what we're going to do with this tree. If we decide to do something with it later, we can always put motion in that. Otherwise, this could be the beginning of a sacrifice, and everything back there that's all bent up with a couple of buds sticking out of it, that could be, who knows, that could be the tree. So this was a new plant. We wired the whole tree. And then a couple of things. One, I enhanced the enlargement so that I thought that you would be able to see better with my hands what I was doing. Also, I adjusted the angle of the camera to where it was across, kind of like it is now, across. And you could see me working from over here. All of that was good. And I had enlarged the picture to where hopefully you could see. The problem was there was about probably 10 minutes of that where I kept doing this to show you the whole tree. But because I wasn't able to see the screen because it was behind me, what I was really doing was this. There's like 5 minutes of, yeah, I'm sorry. So there was just too many things in there that would have, to have cut all of that out would have taken the dialogue with it. So here's what we are. This is the tree I did. I pretty much like the motion that I was able to get out of it. It was not a planned tree. Whereas the other trees, I went, I'm going to bend this, and then, oh, I think that bend leads to this bend, and oh, I think that bend would kind of lend itself to this bend. This tree wasn't like that. This was what I probably should have done was unwrap the tree and start all over. The part where I stuck these 2 wires down in the soil, what they should have done was come out of the side of the pot over here somewhere. And then after bending them over, they would have been anchored in their position so that when I would lay that, when that wire came out of the soil like this and the trunk was like this, I could then grab those wires and put a spin around them without them just doing something like this underneath the soil. That meant that I got no movement out of that. So rather than try to do that, what I did was I grabbed the wire down low with 1 pair of pliers and then grabbed another pair of needle nose right next to them, because now I have more than 1 pair of needle nose, and then tried to force my first bend that way. We got away with that and continued on. But then later, that still meant that I had to add this wire to continue this bend out here. So I put a hoop in the end of the wire over here, tied a wire into it, and then proceeded to take it out and to take it out to the end. But I didn't get the leverage I wanted. And so my ability to do I got everything I want out of that, except I would like it from here to tip down just a little. And after fooling with it 5 minutes, I realized that I wasn't going to ever get exactly what I wanted out of it because this is kind of a mess. It's mostly working. It's just a tweak at that point. It's kind of like quit, Pat, before you do something you don't get over. So instead of doing a video tonight where I endeavored to persevere, none of my design, this was not really as much by design as by chaos. And I like it, right? I liked it. I liked the end result and I liked what we had done. What I don't like was the video I shot because I had tried a couple of new things to try to make it better and I had pretty much made it unusable. So this is what we're going to get out of this. And this is the little guy that I increased the motion in tonight in Patricia's do-over. So the last thing I did when I added that wire, I added the stainless steel chopstick alongside of the branch alongside of the trunk. And then I put a twist to it. As you can see, I wrapped it around that chopstick like a wine opener. I also grabbed the tree at the base and put an enormous twist through all of it. So this one is not going to look like the others. It's still kind of by design in that I'm kind of was still trying to do Hilma style, which my version of that I would call kind of Cheerio because I wouldn't want to put his name to it. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it as well as he does it. Also, he's doing junipers. Lately, he's been doing junipers. The difference between trying to twist a tiny juniper up, now this is what I'm told, I don't really have any junipers, is they snap. Pines tear, junipers snap. So when those tiny little bends and folds that he's putting in those guys, he is really, really, really depending on those wires backing up his hard bends to keep that tree from literally snapping. And what I'm doing is doing really, really tight bends and watching the back of it to make sure it doesn't split out. So as far as that's concerned, I've just kind of just begun. I'm not really even seeing, I haven't even explored the possibilities of these guys even tearing a little yet. But that is neither here nor there. What is here is this tree, and that is what we did to it. This guy, styled by chaos and a desire to do something different with a little bit more direction and a little bit more movement so that it's not just like a flat coil. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. And Frida at no point was never not happy with that. She was pretty okay with it all along. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will drop another 2 shorts and 2 videos this weekend. Going into this will be our late Thursday, Friday day drop, and so this weekend we will do 2 more. And thank you so much for watching.